Fields at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. And off we go from Denver. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. First carry now for Jaleel McLaughlin. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
On the handoff, McLaughlin. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Nix to the air. Forced out to, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On second down, Etienne once more. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. And they'll go again with Etienne. Alex Singleton, the linebacker, there on the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. Now Lawrence to throw. His throw incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. They go play action now. Lawrence. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they decline the hold, and that's going to lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Logan Cook to punt for Jacksonville. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. The last series form, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. To throw, here's Nix. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Running right, here's Estime. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. He's thankful right now for that sideline because it could have been a fumble loss, instead just a fumble, though they will have to punt it now.
You're right about that, but do you think there's ever been a player happier to see his own punter go on the field than him?
No.
I mean, not at all, right? How fortunate is he that they got a chance to punt it away, and it's not just a turnover at the spot.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's Lawrence to throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. Open man. This is Brenton Strange, the tight end. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 41-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
On play action, Lawrence. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But you could almost see his eyes light up defensively. I mean, as a linebacker, that's about as quick as you can get to a quarterback.
So what did your third-grade teacher teach you about straight lines, right? As soon as you have those, you take full advantage of them. He found a gap in the offensive line, got to the quarterback, and put him on the deck.
Dancing to his left. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be fourth down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Broncos about set to go on offense. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Now it's Nix. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
To throw is Nix.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Throwing Nix. To the right side, he's got Vele.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
The rookie from Oregon on target with that one. It leads to a first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Here's Nix.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Nix. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Devin Lloyd, the one to get home and earn that sack. Was certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Marvin Mims.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Broncos are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
Will Lutz on for the point after. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Football to begin the second quarter as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Here's Lawrence, and last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
And his throw is incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
It got his man, complete.
Down the sideline he goes.
Touchdown, Jaguars.
Brian Thomas.
77 yards.
And the Jaguars are able to move back in front.
Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Working out of the gun is Nix.
Over the middle, it's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down.
Back to throw. Nix. They'll set up the screen. It's McLaughlin.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
A short throw to Ingram.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, Nix. And that's going to be caught by Sutton.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Off the bootleg, here's Nix.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Adam Troutman.
A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Broncos have taken the lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Sheds off the tackle. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's second down.
Lawrence.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
In motion goes the tight end. Running out of the gun with ETN. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Straight ahead, ETN.
And he stopped immediately there.
Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd and 14. They go play action with Lawrence. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move him back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
From the shotgun, Lawrence.
Thomas brings it in.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Thomas will come in motion right.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now Lawrence.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line.
Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Denver's offense now set to go.
And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Finds his tight end Ingram. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
The give is to McLaughlin.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Josh Hines-Allen there on the stop.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
This 2nd and 4. To throw, here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram.
And he's got this down to the 35.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
On play action, here's Nix. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Nix to the air. Quickly into the hands of Mims.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
That's into the hands of McLaughlin.
And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Lawrence will throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield at man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And this is going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10.
The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
A short throw to Ingram. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Denver has the 1st down, the play going for 15 yards. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now Lawrence to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Now Lawrence. That is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
They'll run. It's McLaughlin.
And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
To throw is Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
And a short pickup to about the 25.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. On the ground, here's McLaughlin.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing Nix. That is caught. And he will have a Broncos first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
He'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 7. Now it's Nix.
Buying time to his left. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too.
Here's Nix.
Open man right side is Ingram. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there, catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Nix under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Chad Muma fighting all the way through and getting the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
A short throw to Ingram. So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix.
The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown.
Jaleel McLaughlin
taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Broncos go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 26.
They'll look to Etienne to start things out.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hunter. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1 yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Etienne once more.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Etienne on the toss right.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll make this an 8-point game.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Denver's offense ready to go again.
And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Here's McLaughlin.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun is Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
A carry for McLaughlin.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3.
Back to throw. Nix, a short throw to Ingram. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
On 1st down, it's McLaughlin, and he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. They'll keep it on the ground. McLaughlin, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Nix. A short throw to Ingram. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll run on first down. It's McLaughlin, and there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now a give right side. McLaughlin. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Back to throw. Nix. He completes this to Sutton. So the completion good for 7 there. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Nix from the shotgun. Throw out wide is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
A short throw there to Strange.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Etienne up the middle. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 75 yards now for Etienne, and he's got a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here's Lawrence.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his 2nd drop, indeed, not a good look. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 15-yard line. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Lawrence now off the bootleg. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Lawrence.
And that will be incomplete as well.
Back-to-back incompletions and what was once a nice drive stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary, partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
And his kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. To throw, here's Nix.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sutton. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Looking to throw. Nix.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Nix. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
All around great play by Devin Lloyd, using his athleticism to get to the backfield and his strength to stop him for a loss.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
That one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a one-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46.
A credit the tackle to Brandon Jones.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 9. Another tote for ETN. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here's 3rd and 7. Now Lawrence.
Being chased out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Nick Bonito able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos.
Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Operating from the gun, Nix. Going to throw right side here, complete. And all the way down to the 29. A huge play there for Denver, and even 50 yards.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one on to the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, things are definitely working in your favor.
On first down, it's McLaughlin.
Down at the 25.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. And I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll keep it on the ground. McLaughlin, and he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars. Down by 11, a minute 45 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Throwing to start the drive. Lawrence. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange.
And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Well, this crowd making it hard to hear. This is 3rd and 8. That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. Pass complete. Thomas.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And he'll be down at the 46. Well, they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Nick Bonito in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.